Hey y'all, Angelique Michelle here, and I'm really excited about today's video. If you didn't know already, I spent 3 years as a foreign teacher in China, specifically Shanghai. And so these are 10 questions that you should ask the school before accepting a position as a foreign teacher abroad, or more specifically in China. Where are your other foreign teachers from? This is a very important question because it's going to tell you a plethora of things. It's going to tell you, one, if they're used to paying a native salary. So if you're going after an English teaching role, then as a native speaker, you should be getting paid between a certain bracket. And if they are hiring people from Europe who are not native English speakers, then that means they're used to paying well below that bracket. So that's going to tell you, one, if you can expect your salary expectations to be met. 2, it's going to also tell you if they favor white skin over more melanated skin tones, which means that they might have the belief that white skin equals good English, and we know that's not always the case. So it's going to tell you that. And 3, it's going to tell you if they're even used to having a black or person of color working in their school. And that comes with its own complications, I think is the best word for it. Because like we said before, there's this conception that white skin equals good English and dark skin equals uneducated. And we know that's not true. So if they've never actually had a black teacher or a person of color work at their school, be prepared to have some complications and just an overall general lack of knowledge, understanding, and maybe even respect. What health benefits and salary are you offering? You need to get this carved into stone, and you need to know. Don't sign a contract when you're like, okay, well, we'll try to do this for you. We'll try to do. No. If it's not in the contract, you're almost guaranteed not to get it. So do not sign. Make sure you are very clear on what benefits you have and the salary that you will be getting after tax. What are your expectations? You need to know classroom etiquette, how many teachers are going to be in the classroom with you, what you're expected to do inside the classroom, if you're expected to do lesson plans beforehand and submit them, if you're going to be teaching from a set curriculum, or if they're just going to be giving you topics and you create your own plan and curriculum with that. You need to know exactly what is expected of you in the classroom and if there are goals and things that need to be met. For example, will the kids have monthly little tests or exams that tracks their progress? Are you going to be expected to fill out progress reports? You need to know exactly what is expected of you in the classroom. Are there other responsibilities that you'll have outside of the classroom? So a lot of times, because you are a native speaker, they want to use you for marketing. They want to make sure that their parents and the parents in the neighborhood that the school is located in know that they have native speakers, or know that they have good English speakers or science teachers, whatever position you are applying for. So you need to know if you are there strictly for your classroom and you're only going to be teaching, or if there are other events that you need to host, marketing materials that your image is going to be used for, videos that they're going to expect you to contribute to. You need to know what other responsibilities outside of the classroom you're going to have. Ask for a breakdown of the daily, weekly, and monthly schedule. So I know exactly what I'm doing on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I know exactly what I'm doing week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. I know exactly what I'm doing in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, so on and so forth. Because your schedule can change daily, especially because the kids will most likely have other classes. For example, my kids every day had 2 English classes, a Chinese class, a Korean class, and then they also had either chess or PE, arts, a music class, physical education, which is PE, I've already said that, But they had a plethora of other classes that I had to also take them to. So make sure you understand the daily breakdown and also the weekly breakdown. And then we had monthly assemblies that we had to plan in. So when you're planning for your week and for your month, you need to understand that your kids are going to be outside of the classroom during certain times, or some weeks you're not going to have as many classes as other weeks because you have monthly assemblies or field trips. So ask for a breakdown so you can know exactly what you're going to be doing each day. Are you expected to sit in on Chinese lessons or PE lessons or art lessons? You need to know, is this going to be downtime for you, or are you also going to be inside the classroom with them, supervising and keeping class order? This is very important, especially when you are concerned about lesson planning or setting up your classroom for your classes and your lessons and your projects and things like that. So that's very important to know. Who will handle bathroom breaks? So my first year, I was a foreign teacher. I was an English teacher at a training school. So I didn't handle bathroom breaks, and most of my kids were old enough to where they could go to the bathroom by themselves without me supervising them. But then I moved into a kindergarten, and I don't know if it was just my kindergarten or if it's all kindergartens in Shanghai. But in kindergarten, the kids were not expected to wipe themselves. And I did teach them the first year to wipe. But if that is not something that you are willing to do, that could be a hard no for you. You need to understand who is in control of bathroom breaks. Typically, Mama Lao Shi, the nurse teacher, the nanny teacher, handles all food, nap time, and bathroom breaks. But if she's not there because she's out doing her other responsibilities, then, and your kids have to go, are you just going to leave that child sitting on the toilet for 40 minutes? You need to know who is in charge of bathroom breaks, what the protocol is, and if you're even allowed in the bathroom with the children. How does paid time off work? You need to know if you're just going to be putting in a request and it could be denied, or if this is you just letting the school know that you are unavailable during these days. This is something that's very important, and you need to know if you're getting paid time off. How many days are you getting? Can you use it all at once, or does it have to be broken up? Are there certain months or weeks that you're not allowed to use paid time off? You need to know all of these so that you can plan accordingly. Are you required to find a substitute if you do take time off? This is something that I didn't even realize was a thing until my last few months in China. I personally have never had to find a substitute for my classes when I was taking time off. Most of the time, I just asked the teacher next door if she would come over and teach my classes. If she couldn't, I would just make sure that my Chinese teacher knew that there were videos that the kids could watch. Honestly, I was with my kids most of the time, so they were getting extra English lessons anyway, and so whenever I took time off, they really didn't need to have English classes, but the school wants to make sure that they are having English classes every day. And I was an English and science teacher, and then the last year I was also the PE teacher, the art teacher, the Lego teacher. I was doing a lot. But yeah, so are you required to find a substitute? And if you are required to find a substitute, are you required to pay that substitute? Me personally, this is a hard pass. If you are required to find a substitute and you are required to pay for a substitute, personally, I would pass on that opportunity. It just seems like a lot of hassle, and it seems a little sketch. Am I expected to interact with parents? This is a very important one because dealing with parents as a teacher can be very tough, right? Because the parents want what's best for their child, and they essentially want their child to be favored. And, we can't even be mad about that, right? You always want the best for your child. But that could lead to several issues, especially when you are communicating teacher to parent and your school is not in there. So you need to know what the policy is, what the procedures are for interacting with parents. For the most part, you'll have a Parents' Day once a semester where you either demo a class with your kids in front of them, or you just give a presentation on your curriculum, homework, what you're going to be doing, class rules, and things like that. But you also need to know what the protocol is for if you have a problem child, or a child who's not behaving as they should be, a child who's struggling in the classroom. You need to know who to go to. Do you go to your co-teacher, your Chinese teacher? Do you have a supervisor that you can go to? Who do you go to in the school that's going to relay that message to the parent? Is that message even going to be relayed, or are we just going to ignore the issue? You just need to know what the protocol is and make sure that you follow that. Okay, y'all, I hope these questions were helpful. Yes, they are specific to my experience as a Black foreign teacher in China, but a lot of these questions are universal that you can ask for any interview, especially if you're looking to teach abroad anywhere in the world. And so I hope they were helpful. I'm super excited for your new journey and this new adventure that you're going to be embarking on. I'm sending y'all all of my love and good vibrations, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.